Welcome to the CWC Podcast with your host, David Selby, Justin Reed, and Andy Horton.
All right, welcome to the CWC Podcast, the latest news, rumors, and interviews from around the sport of chuckwagon racing. I'm your host, David Selby, and I've got Andy Horton and Savannah Smith here as my co-hosts today. On today's show, we're welcoming Jason Goodwin. He is the cook for the County Line Bunch Classic Team, maybe. And later on the show, we're going to share results from last weekend's West Kentucky race. It's all coming up on the CWC Podcast. And don't forget, get over there and subscribe, relive the ride at chuckwagonchannel.com. $11 a month, $99 a year. Lots of good stuff coming up. So much good stuff coming up. Stuff that we can't even talk about yet because it's so good. Maybe not. But
so we have talk about it. We're waiting.
Yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting for things to happen. There's a lot of good things as we go into the off season of this year's racing. Obviously, we've got one more race ahead of us with Chase Outlaw, but as we go into the off season this year, there's a lot of ideas that have been coming forward from people on this team right here, from people outside of this team and other areas of the chuckwagon racing community. There's just a lot of good stuff I think that's kind of brewing. So make sure that you are tuned in so that when we can share some information that you are getting it just as quick as we can deliver it. So anyways, how are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
It's early.
It is early.
Yeah, we're shooting on a Thursday morning. We don't normally do it this way, but that's just how the schedule fell.
I meant to ask, in all of our 68 episodes, have you ever filmed one bright and early in the morning?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't even remember.
I'm saying no.
I don't actually remember.
Not that I've been involved with.
We've done some at Clinton that were early.
True. I pre-shows. I guess pre-shows.
Yeah,
not this early.
Not 8 a.m. But
check another first off of our list.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's nice. We're gonna learn something from this one. We're gonna see if this is a good format for us. If we should all get out of bed and jump on fast.
Let's not do it the day your editor has to have it out in hours.
We'll just have to start doing it live.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love because then all of our mistakes are just out there in the open. We can't cut around anything. We save a bunch of time and we just are forced to get really good.
Yeah.
I'm not scared. Go for it.
Oh, I am. I'm terrified. I'd be the reason that our viewers would go down.
The real tough thing is that Savannah actually had to do her hair and makeup before bed last night just so that she could be ready this morning.
I don't want to tell you guys how early I woke up this morning. I could not sleep. It's been real hot and humid in my house, so I got to the office at 5:30. Full face of makeup, coffee, breakfast, and the dog.
That would explain the early messages that
got so
videos
much done
that we were finishing.
So much done.
Well, what's funny is I woke up. It was a weird 5:30 day for me too. Got lots of stuff going on, and so I wake up and I look over and Miranda's got her phone and she's laying there looking at her phone. I'm like, I got my phone. Like, does this mean sleep isn't happening anymore today? Just messaged her so she got to see that I was awake as well. And then we kind of laid there and talked and kind of got ready for the day. Lots of stuff going on. Kids have left and gone to school. Andy, you're probably the one that slept the longest, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably the one that was awake the latest, but yeah, that's normal.
Well,
the inverse of us today.
Yeah.
It's just the life of working with the Chuckwagon Channel. We just grind all the time. So,
yeah.
So lots of things happened last weekend. At the top, we had West Kentucky Chuckwagon Race going on. We had the party in the Pasture happening at the Goat Ranch, also known as the Bakersfield Stampede, which is called the Goat Ranch, everybody. It is called the Goat Ranch, and it's in Greenfield, Missouri. And then we also had a wedding. We had Dapple and Zaine getting married down there in Clinton, right there at the top of the hill at the Bar Wife Ranch. And I went and shot that on Saturday, but Party in the Pasture for us kind of kicked off on Thursday. So all of us and a couple more of our crew members were there. Really Thursday, I guess, is when it kind of kicked off for us. And then when I was out on Saturday, there were 4 of you. Savannah was there, and then Sunday, something that's not really normal for Party in the Pasture is they had the celebration of life for Karen Gardner, who's the mother to Jordan Spain, Josh Spain's wife. So that was a beautiful thing, the celebration of life. What do you guys? What were your key takeaways from being down there at Party in the Pasture? This was the first time for all of us to be there, right? This was your first time.
I've never been there. Yeah. I don't know, the atmosphere was a little different, you know. I mean, all I've known out there is Stampede, which, I mean, obviously that's grown as I've been going out there. I think, you know, I've missed a couple of them, but it was just a different. It was just a little more laid back energy than Stampede is, which is I don't have a problem with. I thought that was cool. There was some different stuff they were doing that, you know, you don't see at Stampede. Some of the events and stuff were different. The broom polo thing, I think, has potential, but I also was like relieved when we got done with it and everyone still had their eyeballs.
Yeah.
Because all of those brooms were like snapped and mangled and everything by the time they got done. And so I was just like, man, just don't stab somebody, please.
You guys saw it at Clinton one year where they were using a beach ball, and it might have been golf clubs or something.
Golf clubs?
Yeah, well, it gives you a little bit more, like a broom is so long and kind of weak, like you were saying, especially if you're using like whatever like aluminum or whatever.
Yeah, those metal brooms.
Like an old, like there's so many old sets of golf clubs out there that would serve perfectly as kind of it makes sense to me to use that, but
that sounds horrible.
I know. I'm just picturing how far it's have to lean over.
Well, I mean, if you whack another rider with a broom, it's not so bad. But if you whack somebody over the head with a golf club,
you really should have to wear a helmet in the sport. I'm saying,
and
We're gonna need quarter length ankle pads.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. Well, they started. So Thursday was not part of Party in the Pasture. That was, for the first time, they were using their newest building out there, which they still haven't got, I don't think, an official name for the building, but it's kind of their event hall. It's climate controlled. It's everything that you would want for an event space, really, for all seasons. And this was really the first sizable event that had people in there with tables, and they're running the AC. Actually, I know it's the first time they were running the AC because they had just gotten it installed a couple days previous. And it was meetings. It was meetings. It was planning. It was them trying to get ahead of planning for next year. And this is something I want to bring up right now because I would just love to see more and more tracks doing stuff like this. These Chuckwagon races, they're big events. And when you take that time to get ahead of it, 6, 8, 10 months out or more, you give yourself and your team and everybody all that time to not just plan and be ready and reserve days, et cetera, and services and vendors, but you actually give yourselves the time to think and brainstorm and really put ideas out there and flesh them out, and even try some of these ideas out before you come back around and you implement something new. And so that was something that I thought was a key takeaway for me, was going there on Thursday. And not only were we filming these because we're actively shooting for the Building Spain show, but to participate in that and kind of see how they're planning and organizing for the future. It's awesome. And I think that there's a lot of stuff that all the tracks could take away from that. And different tracks do that in their own way and at different levels and at different times. But yeah, that's just remarkable for me for that event and that venue. Yeah. Savannah, what did you think? What was your key takeaway from the weekend?
I really enjoyed it. Kind of like Andy, it was a little bit smaller than I expected it to be, but I've only ever been to the Stampede. But I really liked kind of how calm it felt compared to the Stampede and how just busy it can get. It felt like anywhere on the ranch that you wanted to go, you had easy access and a really good view. And the concert energy, I had a blast. I think it might have been more fun to film than the concerts at Baker's Bay and Stampede.
I think I would agree with that.
Chris Jansen had a phenomenal stage presence.
Yeah.
Blake Whiten, is that how you pronounce his last name? So that their original second act, Randall King, got sick, so Blake Whiten had to step in last minute, and I was pretty impressed with him. I really like the raspy, deep voice, and he fell right along with the red dirt country feel that everyone was looking forward to. And Josh Weathers, that man can hit a high note. Goodness. All in all, I had a great time. I had a really good time.
Josh he's got range for days. Like I did not see that coming when he got up there. He hit like a Fleetwood Mac song or something.
Oh yeah.
As soon as he started, I was like, don't mess this up.
Breaking high.
Yeah, and then he goes full on Whitney Houston after that, and I was like, okay.
Oh. Yeah, man, I wish I could have been there Saturday for the concerts and everything. I know that's where it all kind of culminates, but no, I was down there. I was shooting Dapple's wedding, which we were able to drop the kids off. My folks live a little bit west of Branson, so it's kind of on the way. We dropped the kids off, and Miranda and I headed on down there with the baby, with Sonny, and we got down there midday, and it was just a laid-back day. It was a beautiful day. It was sunny all day. Just really enjoyed that. I mean, it was cool for me to go down there and actually do something like that with Dapple and Zaine and all those people. They're important to them, and be there at a time where maybe the pressure to be, working with a big crew and all this responsibility, some of that was just kind of alleviated. So a more laid back day, even though we were taking photos and we were shooting some video as well. It was just a lot more personal, a lot more laid back, which is nice because Dapple is a very good friend of mine, and several of those people are good friends to me. And it was a really good day. And Dapple had this vision for a ceremony that would be up there at the top of the hill along that pathway that walks behind all the spectators on Spectator Hill that leads up to Dan and Peggy's house. And it was all of the string lights and everything with decorations and tables everywhere. So people weren't sitting in rows or aisles, that they were all sitting around the tables that they would eat at right after the ceremony. Actually, they ate before the ceremony, because as the sun went down, as it was just twilight, everything kicked off. The music kicks off. They come walking all the way up this huge long aisle, and it was a sight to see. It was beautiful, and some of the photos are on Facebook, so everybody can see those. But that we posted those through Selby Films and Photos, which is our wedding photo and video business that we do. But just a really good day. I'm glad I could be there, for missing something else that was obviously important to our team. That was a really important day for me to be there, for me personally and for people I care about. So it was a great weekend. Yeah. And so I know that we want to keep pushing forward here. So I am going to keep the gas pedal down. We want to get Jason on here. Since we're shooting in the morning, we're probably getting him before he gets into his work day. So Savannah, is he waiting?
He is. Let's bring him on in.
Bring him in.
Well, I clicked the button.
Oh no.
He's not there. Let me message him.
Okay. Break. Riverside's gonna be like, you have your maximum of 3 people.
That would honestly suck.
I volunteer as tribute.
You gotta come back on, though, for the results.
Might can just call him. You guys feel good about that teaser? Sizzle reel?
That is pretty sick.
I thought it was pretty good. I was really happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it kept the energy up the whole time. And it's really good. You don't get tired of watching it. Like I watched it like 3 times.
Yeah.
So
Alicia, but turned that around in 48 hours.
Man, she's a rock star.
Yeah. We were talking about what we wanted to have done, and it was really leading up to the last several days. It was like, let's have this episode ready to go, like one of the last episodes, so we can kind of pilot that if I get to show him something. And we were like, and I was like, man, the perfect name would be is if we just had a killer sizzle reel. And she's like, do you want me to work on a sizzle reel? I was like, yeah, you think you can get one done? And she's like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that for the next 48 hours. I was like, okay. Hey, Jason, there he is.
What's up, guys?
Hello, good morning.
How are y'all?
Oh, hold on,
Good, man.
I gotta do my shirt reveal.
I'm excited.
Is it?
Keep your shirt on.
Ah,
Okay.
We're not live yet, are we?
Oh, we're rolling, man. We're
good
rolling.
morning.
We're actually, this is feeding into the White House right now, and
Is it?
the president's watching, and
Yes.
small audience of his closest cabinet members.
Cool,
You look so official.
You look like are you at work?
I work from home, so yeah, I'm in my office this morning.
That's awesome, man. Well, thanks for taking the time this morning to come on the show. I know it was all kind of short notice, and that's how we roll.
I love it.
Well, it's good to see you, man. How's life treating you? I know you guys just came back off of a race weekend. How was the weekend? We were not able to be there. How was the weekend?
Well, we missed you guys. Tell you that. It's not the same without y'all. But we had a great time in Kentucky. They welcomed us open arms. Beautiful country out there. Squeaked out a win against our worthy rival, Justin Sipes, and the BS Racing team. Awesome team, by the way. I mean, that those guys, they're the guys, when you pull up to their race in one of their hometowns, they're standing there waiting to help unload your panels and your horses, you know. So we love those guys. It was the 9th race for us, 9 of 9. We went to 5. I got my notes here. 5 states, 3,200 miles, and we're pretty tired.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you sharing those numbers because it kind of puts into perspective the reality of having to travel and do the circuit, and you guys have been dedicated this year. So tell us about your success this weekend. Tell us the divisions you guys won in, and maybe kind of recap those races for us.
So we took both teams, Big Horse Rubber Tire and our Classic. We on Saturday, Justin got the inside and outran us. He didn't have an outrider. On Sunday, we got the inside and outran him in the Classic, and we both had outriders, and we won by, I think, less than a second. Like, we were just right there, just how we've been doing tit for tat since he came out of Clinton. Yeah. Dawson won the Big Horse Rubber Tire, him with J.D. Pennington. And, of course, we had J.D. too. You know, he's awesome. But so we won both of those. And then when I say J.D., we got 2 J.D.s. So I may say, if I say little J.D., that's our little J.D. Bradley. And he ran in the youth, and he got second.
Oh, man.
So it was just a great weekend.
Oh, man. It's been really cool to see his race career kind of unfold this year. And I've said this on the show, but I feel like the youth this year have really taken a step forward. And maybe that's just because we're more plugged in than I used to be with the association. But my goodness, I just feel like I've seen several of these youth racers go from seeming like toddlers early in the season to being like they are full-fledged, they are on board, they are out there, you know, raring to go, and JD is no exception to that. He looks like he's really kind of settled in.
So you take Julie and Courtney and Ashley and Jenny and the County Line Bunch is forever grateful for what they've done for our little JD. But they sold $1,200 worth of popcorn Saturday night at that Kentucky race. So that
Kentucky?
Those girls, those ladies, they show up every week. They race, they do all the things, they have the prizes. It's a lot of times a thankless job. We're all at the dance and hanging out, and guess what? They're working till midnight. And so they're my heroes. I love them. I've got their back, and you know, we're going to try to outsell all of them down in my home country, down in outlaw country at the end of the month. But they've done an awesome job, and man, I can't say enough about them.
I love those guys.
That is awesome.
And they've also had to navigate kind of a storm this year with doing something new, making changes. That always comes with pushback, and rightfully so. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion and their own desire for, the direction these things go, especially for their kids. That's a touchy area to be stepping in and trying to take over and make changes, and nobody's perfect. It's, we have two humans with huge hearts that are trying to do that stuff. And so, hats off to those guys and all the work they've done this year. And it just sounds like, for something that kind of maybe, I feel like at the end of last year, maybe it kind of felt like, or even the start of this year, it kind of felt like the youth, maybe they weren't flourishing as much as we wanted to see. And what a turn of events with the way it's gone. And then I guess I should throw out there, at the West Kentucky race, speaking of kids and benefiting the youth, they do the St. Jude Children's Hospital auction, and like the proceeds from that event go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and on their Facebook page, West Kentucky Chuckwagon Races LLC, go follow them. They said that their total was $41,685 that they were able to raise. That gives me goosebumps. That's awesome. That's next level. So really, really sad to miss that weekend, but very, very glad to hear of how well it went and the results. And congratulations to you guys for bringing home the buckles.
Mm-hmm.
So for you guys, thinking about the remainder of the season here, we've got the Chase Outlaw race. What is kind of the goal? Maybe it's obvious, but what are you guys' goals, and how do you feel about where you're at this season, how it's been so far?
It's, there's ups and downs, and we look back and we probably could have done things different. Maybe not. Me and Kyle talked yesterday, and we're like, I would do it all over again. We may not have handled certain things the way we probably should, so we might go back and do that. But the end result is we would both want it to be the same. We started out for going for the state championship. It's all going to come down to Chase's race with us and B&S, and hey, they're going for it too. So we'll just have to see, how it plays out. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you guys came into the season kind of, I think from the very start of the season, you were approaching me and you were on fire, man. You were ready to go. And I know a lot of things kind of culminate at Clinton for people, but I've been really enjoying, and I think a lot of people have been enjoying the passion that you guys have brought to the sport this year, and especially to the association. I think the I call it kind of the movement of the Chuckwagon racing realm right now. You guys are a huge part of that. The energy that you bring, and obviously you guys are all in. You're invested with time and money and all the above. So kudos to you guys. It's been really, really special to see you guys and see you do what you've done this year. And I know that you're just kind of setting the tone for what it's going to be like for you and your people going forward. I'm excited to see your team grow too.
And I'll say it's been pretty exciting for me to watch over the year. You guys were talking about BS Racing earlier. Y'all have had some really tight races throughout the season. We've got clips with you guys coming around curves or, nearly photo finish at the finish line. So that's just something to spectate. So I kind of want to jump way back in the past. We've been talking about this last season. I want to talk about years ago. How did you get involved with Chuckwagon racing? How did it all start for you?
Okay, so I went to Clinton as a kid with my dad back in the 90s, back when we were still tent camping, and we always had horses. Well, I kind of got out of it after college. Me and Brandy got married, but when we had Annabeth, our oldest daughter, who y'all met, she came here loving horses. So when she got enough, I started going back to Clinton. And, I always knew about the county line bunch. And a lot of the other race teams, watched them growing up. And Kyle Fuller ended up coaching my daughter's softball team as assistant coach.
He looks like a
So,
softball coach.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And so I start talking to him about it, and he's like, I was like, man, I seen y'all this year. You know, y'all got in a runoff. We're talking and all. He said, well, come by the house sometime. I work horses every day in the summer. So I stopped by one day, and, you know, I guess I just never left. Like Mr. Allen and all of them took me in and my family in, and, you know, I just never left. And if you're around Kyle, you're going to be around the Granberries. So Chris and Megan and their boys, and, you know, I was down there just helping, you know, basically anything I could do, probably in the way. Most of the times I'd had horses, but never hooked a horse up to a wagon, you know. And so, I don't know, me and Kyle hit it off, and we've been best friends ever since.
Oh man. And that was when?
I just did about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff happens fast.
So you've been a cook for,
Yeah.
How long have you cooked?
So I'm pretty much the rookie on the County Line Bunch 1 team. I started cooking last year, for Kyle, and in some of the association races. And I think we won one, but we didn't go to all of them. You know, we just went to the close ones. And so I fell in love with it. I was like, man. And so in the off season, I was like, I'll get you guys, I'll help you guys, you know, and we'll get ready for Clinton, but can we go to more of the association races? And Kyle's like, man, we can go to all of them. So I really didn't know what I was getting into when I agreed to that, because it's very taxing, you know. I set my family down, and I was like, hey, I gave him the schedules. Dad's going to try this, because we got one kid that plays ball and one that loves horses. So Mom likes ball, and I like horses. So I'm going to try this. And so they all agreed, but, you know, I couldn't have done it without them. It was a lot. The race weekend is not even half of it. It's the everyday. It's the working the horses. My wife Brandy is awesome. And, you know, your plates in the microwave is what this whole year's been.
Yeah. Oh man, I believe it. So talk a little bit about that. Talk about that cook's role.
Well, you know, you watched it, and of course, the cook. I mean, the team. We got a big team. We got our County Line Bunch team, which is, you know, Mr. Allen's ahead of it. Kyle, me, and JD Pennington, Greg Christopher, you know, on that team. But we also have County Line 3. We have several teams right around here that we're all friends with. We got Raptor G and let's see, who else is there? Anyway, Tucker's on that team, and then Lane. So there's a bunch of us, but it's a group effort from all of us on the horses and the equipment. The cook's specific role is you got to be on the ground before the announcer says cook's getting the wagon, and the bedroll's got to be on the ground. Says cook's load the wagon, you're in. The gun goes off, the stove comes in, and you have to make sure that those don't come out and lean left. That's the basics of it.
Well, so that is the basics of it, but at the same time, I mean, I think the cook has a role that a lot of people don't realize when you're going around to there, as far as what you're looking for and stuff. And so what's going through your mind as far during the actual run? Because I think it's more than people realize.
Okay, so the first thing I noticed is how loud it is in there. Like, it's just overwhelmingly loud.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the main thing is that stove and that bedroll's can't come out. So you got to gather it up, make sure it's in there. And then you try to direct traffic a little bit.
Yes.
Especially if you're in the front. You know, if we're behind, you know, Kyle can see all that. But if we're in the front, you know, try to tell him where they're at and what's going on, and, you know, where he can go, and you know, to get around safely.
Yeah.
How hard is it to communicate? So you said it's really loud in the wagon. I imagine you're yelling, trying to talk to him over
top of your lungs.
Yeah, when we've had GoPros and stuff in those wagons, it's all just rumble. It's just loud noise. That's all you get, which the GoPros do a really good job of kind of compensating, like it saves the audio pretty well, honestly. But so it's bringing all the audio down to meet the level of how loud the wagon is. And the only time you can really hear the people in the wagon is when there's a really loud shout, it's like, woo, or whatever. It's like, I know it's loud in there, and the rumble of those wagons, you hear it on the outside of the wagon. I can only imagine how disorienting it could be, especially if you're not used to being in a classic wagon. So I think that's it's pretty cool to hear about that experience. And so I know that you guys, so I want to let you talk just for a second about what Clinton was like this year. What were your goals going in there? And then what was the reality, and kind of recap that weekend for us.
Well, I was excited. I knew the horses were ready. We got the best team, we got this team assembled. We go in there, we run good. It just didn't go our way. And the reality of Clinton is that, and Chris Granberry told me this. He said, there's a million things that can go wrong and only one thing that can go right. And that's so true there. So, we're going to go back. I mean, we're already working on it right now. We're starting to get ready. Now, what the upside for me was my daughter Anna got to race, and she cooked in the buckboard for fast cattle, and she outrode in the land rush with fast cattle. And so that was super cool to be able to be there for her for that. And Savannah interviewed her after one, and when we walked back to the trailer, she was like, Dad, I've been practicing for that interview my whole life. So, there were some highs and lows, but Clinton's always fun, and we'll be ready next year.
That's awesome. It's good to hear that that you guys are looking at the future already. So what does the future look like for you guys? I know you mentioned like this year was like your first time really going out running the whole circuit with the association and everything. Is that going to become a staple for you guys? Or do you feel like this was the year that you kind of did that and maybe you have to back off a little bit in the future? What does the future look like for you guys in County Line Bunch?
I think we'll have to back out early on. I think, you can make the argument that it's good to race before Clinton a lot, but you can also, we kind of felt like maybe we might have overdid it. So I think early on, we're probably going to back off and focus more on Clinton now. And then after Clinton, we might be able to go to some, but we'll go to the local races around here. I just don't know that we'll go, 3,200 more miles.
Mm-hmm.
That's understandable. Especially when you're trying to trial and error some different strategies that span over a whole season, as opposed to, seeing how you run one day and trying something different the next.
Right.
So kind of maybe push the boundaries of, probably what we normally talk about with wagon racing and the circuit and doing everything. For you guys, what would it take? So let's talk hypothetical here. If in the wagon racing realm, if in the Arkansas Chuckwagon Racing Association, as it continues to grow, if there were to be bigger cash prizes, bigger incentives to make more races, would that make a big difference for you guys? Or is it just truly the sheer amount of time and travel and effort, the stress factor, and is that the biggest factor? Or do you feel like as the sport grows, let's say these purses get bigger, is that something that would incentivize somebody like you to go and just race all the time? I'm just kind of curious.
I don't think so. Man, everybody that races knows that you don't do it for the money. And somebody said, well, how much does it cost and how much time does it take? And I said, all of it. It takes everything you got and more. So I doubt that. I mean, I love the money. We won money this weekend. Super happy to get it. It was cool. But, I don't think so. I don't think it would be an incentive for us to go to more. I think our goal is, pretty clear. Everybody kind of knows what we want in the end. And so that's what we're going to focus on.
I appreciate that response. That's it's cool to hear that response, because I am curious to know how different people feel. I think that it's obvious that winning at Clinton is, that's the big goal. That's the big thing that people want to, that's the top of the mountain, if you will, for a lot of people. So it's cool because I know the sport's going to grow, and I feel like, I mean, Chase Outlaw's race is going to be, I think, a good example. Getting into a new venue that's going to be heavily produced. I think that it's going to be a really nice event. I think that there's going to be a lot of stuff that we don't see at other races, especially from a sponsorship standpoint. So I guess really production, I think, could go to another level. And I think it's one of those that a lot of people will be at too, because it's the last race of the year. So yeah, man, we're really looking forward to seeing you guys at that one. And I'm assuming we're going to see at the meeting too, the annual meeting, in January. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm going to just put the pressure on you here while we're live, while we're recording. I expect to see you there, Jason. And so that, that's an important meeting, I think, for wagon racing, because a lot of things get decided or finalized. And even the youth, that was a big piece of the last meeting. The youth, really, the direction it was going to go. There was a lot of conversation, and here we are, fast forward 8 or 10 months, and the youth is just like, there's a lot to be proud of there. So I'm excited to see what changes over the next year, to see how the sport grows, to see how the association grows, and what happens with all these tracks and everything. I know that there are another couple of tracks knocking on the door. So there is a lot of stuff to look forward to. And I know that we're looking forward to seeing you guys race again next year. And I hope to see you guys at as many races as possible, but I also understand exactly where you're coming from, the challenge of all the time and the effort and the travel. So, do you guys have any more questions for Jason?
Yeah, I want to know, of the 3 years that you've been running, what is your favorite memory or a really funny story?
So, I came in this kind of a special time because I've been able to befriend like some of the charter members here, Alan Fuller and Chris Granberry and Jay Rankin, and I'm getting to watch them kind of pass the torch to Kyle and Elaine. Some of the guys that are a little closer to my age, who are today's, kind of, they're going after it. And then the young, we got the young guys like JD, Dawson, Tucker. Anna gets to watch, she's got Sierra and Kaylee and, Jana. So, I don't really know that I got it. I mean, I'm sure people have funny stories. I mean, I don't know if I got any funny stories, but my best memory and the thing I'm most excited about is just coming in during the special time when we've still got the people that started it. So I've got to go to them and gain that knowledge. And the guys that are doing it now, and this young group that's coming up, these superstars. So I love that. I told Kyle last night, Sunday afternoon at Clinton, I went in Jay Rankin's trailer, and he this is his 30th year. It was Sunday. This is going to be his 99th trip around the track.
Wow.
I got to visit with him, and then I walked out, and it was my daughter's 3rd trip around the track. So, I have tons of memories, funny stories. I mean, I'm sure, I can think of some, but the most special thing probably to me is the time period that I got to come along and be with Dawson and watch these young kids start to shine, but still also be there with the old guys and gain all that knowledge. So, I have no regrets. I'm excited about going forward. Like I said, my hometown, 10th race, outlaw country. Bring popcorn money,
Yeah, bring a lot of popcorn money, please. Well, that's awesome, man. We really appreciate you sharing that. We appreciate you sharing your time this morning. I know we probably caused you to get up very early compared to normal to be on this show, but it's exciting to talk to people who have been out there and really working it. Especially, I think this has been a special year for you guys' team. So it's neat to get a glimpse into your mind and kind of how that was for you this year. So again, thank you for coming on, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the Chase Outlaw Nation Chuckwagon Race here in a couple weeks.
Oh, my cheeks hurt from like that half smile.
It's good stuff. Jason's been really fun to talk to all year, and he's actually, he probably doesn't want us to say this, but he's been pretty camera shy this year. He doesn't really like being on camera, and there's been several times I'm like talking to him, I'm like, here, I'm gonna turn the camera on at you, and he's like, oh no. runs away. He's just not into it. But he doesn't want the spotlight. He just genuinely enjoys being at these events. He genuinely enjoys being there with his family and his friends and just the whole experience. And I hope that people kind of capture a little bit of that when they see him talking about the sport, because that is kind of, I think, the testimony of a lot of people that are in the wagon racing community. It's a special thing to be a part of, and it's especially cool for them right now because they've had a big year and they've had a big run. They definitely had a team that could have done it at Clinton, but they just didn't have everything come together. And that is the story of everybody but one team. Usually down there at Clinton just didn't quite get everything to come together. And so, yeah, that was cool. Cool to have him on. So moving forward here, again, we're going to have the Chase Outlaw race coming up. And so naturally, we want to get him on the show. So next week, our goal is to have Chase Outlaw on the show to talk about the Outlaw Nation Chuckwagon Race, October 31st through November 2nd. It's going to be a good episode, one that you guys don't want to miss. Chase also wanted us to share that they've added pasture roping to the event for this year. That wasn't necessarily posted early on, but that's something that's going to be on the ranch while the trail riders are doing their thing. And then to fit the outlaw twist on the weekend, we will be they're preparing to do a wild horse relay. So there will be that kind of entertainment in the middle of the races on or at least one day, and a horse sled pull one day as well. So kind of look out for that stuff. Lots of entertainment.
Hang on a minute. I understand what a relay race is. What is a wild horse relay race?
Hopefully it's just wild horses that they're jumping on bareback. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know that we've seen like the relays with the batons and stuff. Like we saw that at the arena one year with Whiskey Ridge.
Yeah.
I think that the years are running together. I can't remember. I don't know if they did that this year. They did it the year prior to this year. So I don't know that they did that this year.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a neat thing. Did they do that this year?
I don't
Remember,
think so.
Savannah? Like the last thing that... Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Okay. I'm thinking of 2 years ago then. But we've seen that, and that's high octane stuff.
Yeah.
So anyways, great turnout for West Kentucky this past weekend. We were hearing there was a total of 105 entries. And we're going to run through these results here. So I'm just going to jump right into it. For the Youth Outriders 8 and under, third place, Jagger Pennington. Second place, Tulsa Nutt. And first place was Clayton Whitworth with a time of 5.22 seconds.
Youth Outriders 9 to 14. Third place, Micah Stamps with a 5.3. Second place is Ellison Whitworth with a 5.19. And first place is Austin Pruitt with a 5.03.
All right. Big Horse Rubber Tire. Third place, Freight Train. Second place, Trump Train. First place, County Line Bunch with 45.54.
And congratulations, Mr. Granberry. Another W for you. 46-inch Mules, third place, Trump Train. Second place, Ain't Skeered. First place, Hickory Plains Outlaws with a 49.09.
I was wondering when they'd start popping back up in the first place again. They were frequenting that spot at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
46-inch ponies. Third place is Freight Train with a 46.10. Second place is Derek Hands with a 45.40. And first place is none other than the Outlaws with a 44.86.
Congratulations, Outlaws. 52-inch ponies, third place, running blind. Second place is the Outlaws again, and they got edged by Derek Hands in first place with a time of 39.84.
52-inch mules.
Sorry, Andy. I jumped right in there. Go ahead, Savannah.
Yeah, you did.
Go ahead.
52-inch mules. Third place is Trump Train number 2 with a 48.12. Second place is Bad and Bougie with a 47.85. And first place is Coming Undone with a 46.51.
All right. Buckboard. Third place, Bar H Ranch and Rodeo. Second place, Full Throttle Loca. First place, Full House with a 42.54. That is a very familiar placing.
Yeah, and the timing, 42.63 was full throttle, 42.54. You're talking less than a tenth of a second. I mean, that is just the ongoing narrative, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Goodness, yeah. That will be one to look forward to down there at the Outlaw Nation race. Youth Mules, 8 and under. Third place, there was a tie between Corbin Myatt and Suede Wiles, and that was a 7.99. Second place was Hickory Plains Outlaws for Waylon Roten, and that's a 7.76. And
I'm getting first.
And we're pulling up first place here. And those times that were in that third place tie, they were clocked on Saturday. And so that was just what had to sit there through Sunday. Nothing changed, it looks like. And we're pulling up first place right now.
It is Beautiful Disaster, Coy Beth Lyle with a 7.66.
Awesome.
Didn't we see another tie in youth? I think it was probably a first place tie, but at a couple races ago, like we're starting to see these kids stack up like super close like this. It's getting really competitive, which is, I don't think we used to see that, but man, it is really, it's getting good.
Yeah. I just have to double down and say it looks like the youth are really coming along. It's been pretty awesome, and that's exciting for the future of the sport, frankly.
Yeah.
I just get the warm fuzzy feeling seeing kids just grow so much confidence in themselves and their ability and gain the responsibility and then just be so happy doing it. Absolutely.
I'm a huge believer that confidence in anything bleeds over into other things in life. And so, especially in the arena where you are performing, you are having to take care and prepare the animals, to do all these things that just basically amount to a tremendous amount of responsibility. And then on top of all of that, to get the confidence that these kids are getting by competing and having success, that just says a lot. And in my opinion, it says a lot about where they're going to be going in life. I think it's awesome.
Well, I mean, all the way down to how do you handle defeat?
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with it? How do you handle winning?
That's
fantastic. I mean, point. It's yeah. All right, where are we at?
Savannah gets Youth Mules 9-14.
Okay.
Third place was Levi Lehman with Trump Train. Second place is Austin Pruitt running under Ain't Scared. And first place was Easton Parks running under Buck Wild with a 7.78.
Big Mules, third place. I'm sorry, Andy, you're up now because I tried to skip you again. I get excited.
All right, Big Mules. Third place, Sue's Pond. Second place, Wide Ass Open. First place, Gunner Strong with 45.35.
I also saw that Sue's Pond had somebody that got engaged this weekend.
Oh,
Ray Bean and Allison Jacobs got engaged.
Congratulations. That is pretty awesome. I love it when people, it just says, it's another one of those testaments to the wagon racing community when they do get engaged at an event, and it's just a part of I just love that it's a part of their lives, big enough part of their lives to do something like that. I mean, that's going to be memories, for them years going down the road now. Every time they go back there, that will be special. I know Mason Platsky and his wife, they got married at the Loretta Lynn's race, a year or two ago now. And so that's like kind of a fun reunion for them to do that each year. But all right, Youth Ponies, 8 and under. Third place, Tulsa Nut, going nuts number 3. Second place, Delilah Nut, going nuts number 2. And wouldn't you know it, first place, Wade Nut, going nuts number 1. It's a family affair.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody's going nuts. All right.
Youth Ponies, 9-14. That sounds familiar. No. Okay. Youth Ponies, 9-14. Third place is Ellison Whitworth. Second place is J.D. Bradley. And first place was Levi Lehman, undergoing nuts with a 6.7. 6.7 flat.
Nice. All right. Classics. Third place, moving on. Second place, BS Racing. And first place, as we just talked about, County Line Bunch with a 45.75.
It's awesome. And that moving on team, yeah, newer name it looks like, and that is exciting. We want to see more teams. I hope that when we go to Chase Outlaw's race, I hope we see some teams pop up, because I do think that that's going to be a big enough race. I think we're going to see a lot of teams. I think we're going to see a lot of teams in that race. It's going to be really fun. So make sure you guys are geared up for next week's episode when we bring just more information, shed more light on that event, talk to Chase Outlaw. Him and his wife, Nicole, they've just been working their tails off to get ready for this event. And I'm excited. I'm excited to shed more light on it, but also I'm excited to get down there, and we're going to have our whole team there. We're going to have us three. We're going to have Todd Eldred and Lisa Eldred, who helped us out at Clinton, and Todd's been at a couple of these events with us this year. That he's traveled with me some, and he had a birthday yesterday. So happy late birthday to Todd Eldred. He's a good man. We like him a lot, and really excited to bring him to the last race of the season. So
yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday, Uncle Todd.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, get over, subscribe, relive the ride at chuckwagonchannel.com. So much stuff happening right now. You don't want to miss out on everything coming down the pipeline. It is a great time to be a fan of wagon racing. So have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you out on the track.
Thanks for listening to the CWC podcast.